Memento mori. Remember, you must die. Death awareness. If you knew you were going to die tomorrow, what would you do today? And why the hell aren't you doing it? This isn't about death in the abstract. It's about death in the most personal, intimate sense. Your death. Death is the meaning in the dream state shadow of no self. Death is the boogeyman. You can't kill him, or hide from him, or get away from him. You can only turn toward him or away from him. If you turn toward him, befriend him, fully embrace him, not superficially, but as your own essential truth. If this seems like a light treatment of a heavy subject, it's because, from the integrated perspective, it's not so dark and dreary. There's no evil stink to death when it's out in the open where we can see it and hold it steadily in our sight. This is what it means to befriend death, to embrace it, that we acknowledge its importance in our lives. The primary benefit of this honest relationship is the way in which it throws life open to us. But also important is the way it de-horrifies the specter of death. Death is always before my eyes. I never hide it or deny it or push it away. Death is the diamond heart of my dream state being. It is the defining feature that shows me the value of everything I see. Death is the demon you can ride into every battle. I guess all this sounds extreme, but I don't see how anything could be too extreme. The idea is right. Put yourself in close proximity to death. Every hour, every day, you want to be taking time to immerse yourself in the mindset of death awareness, of time awareness, of the fact that the clock is ticking, that every day is one day less, that every breath you take is one breath less. Measure your life in weeks or months instead of years, and take somber note of their passing. Take time every morning to understand what it means to have a new day. Etch the words, "Only that day dawns to which I am awake," into your bathroom mirror. The contemplation of death, of one's own mortality, is a real and powerful meditation. Death awareness is true zazen. It's the universal spiritual practice, the only one anyone ever needs, and the one everyone should perform. So yes, you'd want to do whatever you have to in order to bring this living awareness into your life. Cemeteries are wonderful places to walk and think. Buy yourself a burial plot and have your lunch there every day. Order your headstone. A glimpse of your own mortality really puts things in perspective. Isn't that what people say? Well, that's what you want to do. See your own mortality. Put things in perspective. Develop the habit of thinking of death every time you look at a watch or clock, every time you sit down to a meal, every time you go to the bathroom. Take a walk alone every day and think about what it means to be alive, to walk, to see and hear, to breathe. It's not an exercise. It's not something you're trying to make yourself believe, like an affirmation. It's something that's real and central to your every thought and act. We've homogenized our lives by hiding the parts we're afraid of, and in so doing, we've removed all sense of urgency from life. We have taken death out of life, and that allows us to live unconsciously. Death never left, of course. We've just turned away from it, pretended it wasn't there. If we wish to awaken, and that's a mighty big if, then we must welcome death back into our lives. Death is our personal Zen master, our source of power, our path to lucidity. But we have to stop running from it in a blind panic. Death awareness is the universal spiritual practice. What we have sought in books and magazines, in teachers and teachings, in ancient cultures and foreign lands, has been breathing down our neck the entire time. It's not just another mood-making spiritual technique that you dabble with for a few weeks and blame yourself when it doesn't deliver. Death always delivers. Death is your only true friend, the only friend that will never abandon you and that no one can take away. It slices through every lie, ridicules every belief, mocks every vanity, and reduces ego to absurdity. He's sitting with you right now. If you want to know something, ask him. Death doesn't lie. Try to catch yourself in all the situations throughout the day when you are not awake, not aware, going through the motions of your life in a virtually somnambulistic state. Remind yourself constantly, this moment, right now, I am in the dream state. This is the mindlessness I'm addicted to like a drug. I'm an opium addict living in an opium dream. This is the coma, this slow oozing of my life down the drain. Right now, my life is slipping away. It's not easy to practice death awareness, but you can do it because it's true. You're going to die. Vigilance is the key. We don't need one wake-up call in life. We need hundreds of wake-up calls every day, more and more, until we actually break the surface and come awake. It takes thought, desire, willful intent. The odds are heavily against you. I doubt even one of you will break this addiction. The sleep state is too comfortable, too hard to rip yourself out of. It's like swimming upward through a mile of mud. You just have to keep at it, keep going, constantly reminding yourself of what you're doing and why. Because as soon as you stop, you start to sink again. And the next thing you know, you'll be sitting in a nursing home thinking back to that long-ago night when some crackpot stood in front of the dancing flames and shooting sparks and told you not to let it slip away. But you did, and now it's too late. When all is said and done, all this talk of demons and boogeymen is just a way to slap ourselves into stark, raving sanity, to sober ourselves up from the intoxicating effects of belief and wrong-knowing. The point is that wakeful lucidity is something we're all perfectly capable of achieving. All we're talking about now is a way to stop performing this miraculous feat of self-deception so we can see things as they really are. Memento mori gives it a known point to focus on. In combination with a sincere desire, they can set anyone on the road out of the segregated state of human childhood. So, if you want it, here it is. The only question is, do you want it?